Hello, all you coin collectors out there, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we're going to take a look at some 1974 U.S. quarter dollars, or 25-cent coins. Now, these particular coins, you see they have George Washington on them facing to the left. This is a John Flanagan portrait, J.F., who was the engraver of these particular coins. And George Washington is facing to the left. It says liberty above his head, in God we trust under his chin, and down where his shoulder would be, it says 1974. On the right here, you see we have a mint mark, and that's a D. And there is no Philadelphia mint marks in 1974. So there's no P here, but this is from Philadelphia, this particular coin, because Philadelphia Mint produced a no mint mark coin that year. In fact, they produced a lot of no mint mark coins that year. 1974 was one of the biggest years ever for the United States quarter dollar, and it was 801 million from the Philadelphia Mint and 353 million from the Denver Mint, and that's the D here. If we look at these coins on edge, you can see that they are a copper nickel clad copper, and they have this reeded edge here. And then, of course, on the back, we have the famous eagle with its wings spread, holding a shaft of arrows on right above an olive branch. At the top of the coin, it says United States of America. Underneath, E pluribus unum. And down here at the bottom, it says quarter dollar. So you'll note that at no point on this coin does it say anything about cents or pennies or 25. This coin only says quarter dollar on it, just like the US dime. And let's take a look at the dime. Doesn't say 10 cents on it anywhere. It simply says 1 dime. And this one here says quarter dollar. So there's no other numerology on there, except for the date, of course. If we turn this one over, we're going to see the same exact thing on the back of the Denver Mint. And this engraving here is a John Flanagan engraving also. The front and back, both John Flanagan engravings. Now, this particular coin was a huge mint year, so they made 1.15 billion of them between San Francisco, Denver, and Philadelphia. And San Francisco will have the S on it right here. And it's going to be a really shiny coin too, because San Francisco only produced the proof coins that year. The reason that 1974 was such a huge year really goes back to when they first introduced these coins, as in 1965. And when they introduced them in 65, they wanted to make sure there was enough. So they put out 1.8 billion in 65 with no mint marks at all on them. 821 million in 66 and 1.5 billion in 67. So between 1965 and 1967, they made 4.1 billion of these copper nickel clad coins to replace these silver coins that had been produced until 1964. When you make 4.1 billion of these babies, you may not need to make many after that for a while, and that's what happened. There was a lag of about 10 years, and in the 10th year, they started seeing that even though they were making 300 or 400 million a year, they were starting to get low on the quarters again. So in 1974, they did 800 billion from Philadelphia and 353 billion from Denver. If you're looking to collect these coins, this is not a great year for errors or kind of misprinted or misminted issues. There are a few of them out there, but there are just not that many around for some reason. So this coin, in essence, is worth about 25 cents. You may be able to get 30 cents for it from somebody who doesn't have one. But these you can just go to the bank, and I bet if you buy $10 worth of quarters, you might get a 1974 or two in those quarters. And of course, that was the problem in 65 to 67. They made 4.1 billion of the quarters, and a lot of them are still around. And if you think about that, we're talking 54 years later, the 65, 66, and 67 coins are still around. And 45 years later, these 1974 coins are still around. In fact, these I got all in change within the last couple years. Now, when I say in change, sometimes that means I go down to the bank and get a quarter roll, and just pay the money and get $10 worth of quarters and go through them and then spend them. But you can easily get these 74s from a bank. So don't pay a lot for one that doesn't look like a proof coin, because it's just not going to be that valuable. So look for the S if you're looking for this in a collectible variety. You may be able to get a little bit more for an uncirculated one than 25 cents, but I got to say, extra fine on these is going for about 27 to 35 cents. So you're not going to get a lot unless you have one that's just perfectly good looking, maybe a cameo. All right, that's all we have today from the 1974 United States quarters. Thanks for watching from DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you might have in the comments section.